5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So once again, I'm going to try and pay attention to the colors to start out with. For some reason, I thought Flash was teal last time in the beginning when I saw the colors. So this is Tiamat, and it looks like, yeah, it looks like fOrGG is at the top left-hand corner in yellow, and Flash is at the bottom right-hand color. And it looked like he was in teal again, but I'm just going to wait till we actually see his base before I confirm what color he is. Yeah, Flash is in teal this time at the bottom right-hand corner of the map. fOrGG is across the map at the top left-hand corner in yellow. So Flash obviously haven't taken the early blow to his confidence, a slight blow to his confidence, and I'm not sure why he didn't. I think he really needed to have siege mode there, and if he did, that game would have been his for the taking. But he seemed to be almost overconfident in that game, really thinking that he had it in the bag before he did, once he'd repelled fOrGG's initial proxy rush. And I think he got overconfident after that and paid the price for it. So he's going to have to be on his toes. fOrGG is not going to be a pushover as many people expect, as much of a pushover as many people expected.
I think this game is going to go a lot longer. I think we're going to see a lot more macro from both players, just because of the nature of the map. Because as Molchap was saying, because the map it forces the players in the early the mid game to go through the middle, and I think it's gonna be, I don't think you can build in the middle either because of the terrain. So we're not gonna see any kind of proxies. I don't think we're gonna just see straight up macro from both sides. And really, I think we're gonna have to give the macro to Flash again. Like as I was saying about game one, Flash he has the APM to just constantly keep pumping out an army at an incredible, frightening speed, you could say. And because of the conflict in the middle, we're probably going to be seeing a lot of dropships as well to get around, you know, what I like to call the World War I trench line. That's going to eventually happen, I think, on this map. And dropships, I think, are going to play a key factor in this.
Yeah, definitely with all the neutral building artifacts around and what have you, dropships usually end up being a really big deal on this map in turn versus. Although I haven't seen too many turn versus turns on this map actually, so, but I think the few that I have seen did involve a lot of dropship play, because then you don't have to break down the neutral buildings. You can just sort of drop over them and what have you, and that's pretty standard for turn versus turn in general, I suppose. It looks like. Sorry, fOrGG just setting up his barracks. He's sending out a very quick scout again. So hopefully, I'm hoping that Flash will actually send out a scout early as well. It looks like he might, in fact, be sending out a scout as well, a little bit later than fOrGG, but hopefully he'll be able to get that intelligence, see what fOrGG is doing, and be able to react a little bit better. Because if Flash, you know, we used to say this about BC all the time, but if Flash knows what you're doing, he's going to beat you. You know, and so if he can hopefully get a scout in there. It looks like he's trying to hide a little SCV at the top of his sorry, at the top of his base. I'm not exactly sure why he's moving it out now. We'll have to see what he does with that. Maybe he's setting up an extra. Oh, he's probably just checking for proxies or something like that. Okay, that's what he's doing. Yeah, he's checking all over the map for proxies actually. And now he's finally going to go scout fOrGG's base.
Yeah, looks like Flash for some reason didn't want fOrGG to see that SCV going out. I'm not sure why it was, if he was just using it to check for proxies. I suppose he didn't want fOrGG to know that he was scouting it, so catch fOrGG unawares. Flash, unfortunately, again, it might not be able to get the scout here because the second Marine has just popped out, and fOrGG with some great micro manages to ward off that SCV and not allow it to get up the ramp, and now he's got the second Marine in it, so Flash doesn't know exactly what fOrGG's build is, even though both players have gone for relatively similar builds. It looks like Flash is building something outside of his base. Looks like he's building a proxy starport, so it's Flash's turn now to go for something crazy. Flash building the proxy starport, and that's why he was trying to hide that SCV and make sure it wasn't scouted. And so Flash is building a starport, and fOrGG obviously is not going to see this coming. fOrGG has got his factory up, he's getting his machine shop up, and Flash might actually be able to catch fOrGG off guard here. Flash continuing to scout out with that SCV. And again, one of the things that we have seen from Flash is he doesn't seem to be as intent on getting that early scout off as a lot of other players, and yet he seems to still be quite successful and still be able to pull out the victories. And I think it is something that now people are starting to expose, because of Flash's unwillingness to send that early scout out, and Flash now has a starport up, straight away the control tower going up, so we're going to see cloak raids here. I personally am not a huge fan. fOrGG going for the command center, so this might play right into Flash's hand. fOrGG feels that he knows exactly what Flash is up to. He's setting up for a longish macro game, and he might just barely get caught off guard by those cloak raids, and Flash might actually be able to take this game. I have to say, Flash seems to be in a very strong position through his choice of strategy right now, unless fOrGG gets some sort of scout off. fOrGG does look to be floating, I think. Is that a barracks that's floating up, that's heading towards that starport? And if that, it's just a question of how soon or late fOrGG actually scouts it.
Things are definitely going to start playing into Flash's hands. I completely agree, Clausart. And because fOrGG is going for that expansion, we're going to be kind of seeing the same thing that happened in game 1. fOrGG isn't going to be willing to lose that expansion, and he's going to try everything in his power to try to defend his main base and his expansion. He's going to be forced to divert his forces, and I think he's going to be in a lot of trouble. You can see him going for the armory. That's to get Goliath just in case in an event of a Wraith attack, but he's going to have to rely. It looks like he's not getting Engineering Bay at all, so he's going to be relying mostly on Comsat, and we know that Wraith just has great Wraith micro, and there's one out already. So what Flash is going to do, he's just going to harass fOrGG, make him waste his Comsat so he can't scan Flash's base and see what he's up to, and he's just gonna get set so far behind by this attack. Flash is just doing the exact right thing right now. He's just going for just something completely different than what fOrGG has been expected, and because he's going for that expansion, he's not going to have enough resources, I think, to really deal with this.
Yeah, and he doesn't even have that Comsat center up yet. He's just getting the Academy up. Flash might even be able to slow down those things by picking off the SCVs that are involved in building them. He does not get the armory down, and he's probably not going to get the Academy either, actually. fOrGG has another SCV there. Anyway, but now Flash is going to start being able to pick off some SCVs here. It's interesting to note that he actually turned that, well, I guess it doesn't really matter, but he turned the building away from Flash's starport, so he doesn't even know where that starport is, but now he obviously knows that the Wraiths are there. He's just getting his Comsat center up now. Flash has had to turn on his cloak already, actually, because of those Marines. He's just going straight for the economy, though. I think he's seen that fOrGG's built another command center, so he wants to get his economy down as much as possible instead of just trying to kill those Marines. And the Comsat center is up. He needs to run away. The Goliath is nearby, and he does move out of the way. It looks like one of his Wraiths actually running out of cloak energy anyway, so he's going to have to use his mobility more than the cloak at this point. Although every new Wraith that comes in is going to have some more cloak energy. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him splitting his forces up to try and distract fOrGG a little more.
Yeah, I have to say, the moment I saw that Academy and Armory going up, before Flash had actually gotten even his first Wraith out, starting to go up, I thought that the advantage was with fOrGG, because the key with the whole Wraith aspect, with the whole Wraith proxy or Wraith rush, is the element of surprise. And even though Flash did have, relatively speaking, the element of surprise, fOrGG was still prepared for it. He still anticipated it, and you've got to give a lot of credit to fOrGG for having almost precognition, putting up that Academy and that Armory. If Flash had managed to get his fourth Wraith in, and then fOrGG would have started putting on the Academy and the Armory, then Flash would have been in a very strong position to take the game. But that's not what happened. And so now Flash is going to have to struggle, because he needs to get fOrGG's economy down, while fOrGG, with the two command centers, with his command center going down early, is going to have a strong economy.
And now you can see that fOrGG has completely annihilated Flash's Wraiths. He has about 4 siege tanks in the middle. He's going to start pressuring Flash. And Flash, wow, he's doing something extremely risky. He's double expanding. He just got his natural online. He's now expanding in the top right, and he's still only at one factory. I don't think Flash is doing the proper thing here by double expanding so quickly at one factory. He's not going to have the forces to really defend against fOrGG, and maybe it's because he hasn't... well, he's got siege, though, and fOrGG is going to have to move into that. You see that Marine getting blasted there. So that actually, it still might work out to fOrGG or Flash's favor here, even though the Wraith tactics didn't work out 100% for him, because he got that siege before fOrGG, and actually he took out fOrGG's barracks, and that's going to force fOrGG to build another barracks before he can build more factories to really get his macro going. But now you can see fOrGG trying to come around and break into Flash's expansion area there by destroying those neutral buildings, and Flash has his own siege tanks up, going to be able to force fOrGG to back off.
I think that Flash he kind of knew that he was behind economically, because he didn't accomplish enough with those raids, and so he kind of took a risk by double expanding. He's actually getting another expansion as well. He's going for a 4th command center. He's going to depend on the static defensive abilities of the Terran. He's got siege mode down, but his forces are spread a little thin, actually, and fOrGG coming in here over the top, and Flash having to defend his middle and the top as well, all different points. He's having to bring SCVs off the line and bring more tanks in. I don't know if these are actually going to hold it off, though. He's going to have to bring in his forces from the south, and they're just a little bit slow in getting here, and if he loses this command center, this could be pretty bad for Flash. fOrGG's not microing his forces very well, though, against those SCVs, so he's actually lost a couple tanks to the SCV surround. Finally, Flash comes in here. So Flash basically kind of taking a risk here that he could hold off fOrGG in fOrGG's fast push, I guess, temporarily. enough to get his macro going, and then once he was able to get superior macro going, he would be able to take the long game. But it doesn't look like that's paid off for Flash, because fOrGG was able to focus his forces a little bit more than Flash and take that third base out.
Yeah, Flash is actually in a world of trouble right now. He's almost made mistake after mistake. That proxy starport was a bit of a risk, and fOrGG, once he'd anticipated that, really he was ahead in that game, because Flash really was not able to inflict any significant damage with those raids, and so therefore all the resources that he expended on that was essentially pointless. And obviously, therefore realizing that he was behind in economy because fOrGG now is pushing down southwards, and he's also looks like fOrGG might be going for a kill here at Flash's natural export, because Flash has moved most of his forces out. He's got a couple of siege tanks siege though. fOrGG is coming in with only 4 siege tanks to try and break Flash's front door, but Flash might be able to survive. fOrGG managed to take both the siege tanks out, and he managed to unsiege his siege tanks in time. Flash, meanwhile, had made a push towards the north, and fOrGG countered that by pushing in Flash's front door. So now Flash is really boxed in. I don't see any way back in this game for Flash. Flash now forced to bring his forces back south. He's managed to clear up fOrGG's forces at the 1 o'clock position, but meanwhile, in consequence, he's found himself completely locked in into the 3 o'clock expansion at the middle of his base. So Flash is in huge trouble here, downright trying to take back his territory, but fOrGG has got a huge macro win. Flash, though, does have the advantage of the floating barracks, and looks like he just might be able to take this back. fOrGG this time spreading his forces slightly thin, and Flash is actually going to be able to hold this because fOrGG doesn't have any reinforcements coming. But yeah, seesaw battle between both these players in terms of the psychology of the game. Flash, realizing that he was behind on economy, decided to try and compensate for it by going for the 2 command centers. fOrGG anticipated that straight away and sent the bulk of his forces towards the north, towards the 1 o'clock base, and even though Flash managed to get his defense to defend the 2 o'clock base, fOrGG then went around towards the single neutral building in the most northerly part at the top right hand corner of the map and managed to break through there. fOrGG now pushing out with a group of 4 tanks and 2 Goliaths, trying to keep the pressure up on Flash while he gets his own economy going. I still feel that even though Flash has fought back quite valiantly in this game, fOrGG has a significant lead, and it's going to be difficult for Flash to come back and win this.
And now we can see that fOrGG is catching up in terms of bases with Flash. He's actually taking the 12 o'clock location for himself, and it looks like the 8 o'clock position is just now coming online for him. So he's trying to take the economic advantage that Flash is trying to gain by going the 4 base, by getting 5 bases himself, while just constantly pressuring Flash. Look at all those siege tanks just rolling in from fOrGG, pressuring the natural of Flash, and Flash is forced to bring SCVs out the line, trying to surround those siege tanks, and a lot of those SCVs are being taken down though, but they're just pretty much just delaying for Flash to get his siege tanks in position to try to hold off this push. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it though, because fOrGG just has so many more factories than Flash does, because he got that economy so much earlier, and you can see that he just has a ton of units just coming in. I don't think Flash is going to be able to hold this push on his natural. I don't think he has the forces or the factories to really keep up with the macro.
Flash is in a lot of trouble here. He keeps getting outplayed, and he keeps having to pull SCVs off the line. If he hadn't had to pull so many SCVs off the line, he'd be in an okay position, but he's lost so many SCVs. You can see he doesn't really have much mining at the top right base there anymore. He's had to pull all of his SCVs off his natural for a minute there, and he's just finally getting that going again. And yeah, like you said, in the meantime, fOrGG has taken another base at the 12 o'clock position. Things looking pretty bad for Flash. I don't want to count Flash out yet. If it were anyone else, I would count them out at this point, I think. But I've seen Flash come back from worse situations than this in the past, so I don't want to quite put it past him to come back at this point, although I think it's going to be up to fOrGG to make a mistake, I think, at this point.
To be honest, it's quite hopeless for Flash, because he's not only is he stuck, but he's actually not able to get reinforcements up. Not only is he behind, but he's actually struggling to get reinforcements up to the northern half of his, I suppose, section of the map. If you look at the map, if you divide it up, fOrGG has got pretty much 2/3 of the map, and Flash just has a small sliver along the eastern edge of the map, and that's all that Flash controls, and really he's struggling to hold on to it because fOrGG's got those siege tanks in such a good position that Flash is unable to even get his reinforcements further north. And really Flash has been playing catch up all game ever since his Wraith Rush failed, or his Wraith Surprise failed. He's been playing catch up, and he just hasn't been able to get back on level terms, and I don't see fOrGG letting go. The only reason Flash is still in the game is because he's a Terran, and because Terrans, through their defensive qualities, can stay in the game much longer, especially versus other Terrans. But fOrGG 4GG is just in such a strong position. His economy is so overwhelmingly superior to Flash's right now. He's also got position, which is everything in Terran versus Terran, and he's got superior macro at this point in time, and I just don't think there's anything Flash can do to come back in this game. I really think Flash just has too few forces scattered in too few places. Flash does have 2 starports hidden here with control towers. I'm not sure what he's building them. I don't think I saw him get a science. He might just be going for mass dropships there, but I didn't see him get a science facility up. I don't think it's possible for him to be trying to produce battle cruisers at this point in time. Nevertheless, fOrGG now with the Flash at the with the drop at the 1 o'clock position, and Flash GG. So really, I don't think it was impossible for Flash to come back in that game. fOrGG is playing too solidly, and we might have a shock upset win on our hands. fOrGG taking the lead 2-0, and Flash has got everything to do.
That was just crazy. As soon as I saw those dropships come out from fOrGG, I knew 100% right then that it was over, because Flash didn't have, like you said, he didn't have the forces, he didn't have the resources, he lost a lot of SCVs, like Moletrap said, and fOrGG, once he got those dropships out, he had the ability to just hit Flash anywhere at will, and Flash could do nothing about it.